Let me quote USC's head coach. It was a stupid call.
You are Locked On USC, your daily podcast on the USC Trojans, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Fight on, everyone. I'm your host, Mark Holkin, and thank you for making Locked On USC, part of the Locked On Network, your first listen every day. Whether you're watching the show on YouTube, wherever you want to download this podcast, you already know the rules. The show is always going to be free. The show is always going to appreciate your support. And today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers, you can bet just $5. And if your first bet wins, you're going to win $300 in bonus bets that you can use across the entire FanDuel app. Well, here it is. USC 24, Notre Dame 24. Here's my instant reaction show. As Coach Riley said after the game, it was a stupid call. I think back to USC's loss on the road to Illinois a few weeks ago. And when USC scored that touchdown to go ahead, there's 2 minutes left, minute 55 left in the game. And I asked Coach Riley specifically, do you have any thoughts about maybe running a little clock to take some time off because, your defense hasn't been really getting the job done, yada, yada, yada. And he said, we thought about it, but we didn't want to get too cute with it. Well, a few weeks later, USC goes home. They beat the tar out of Michigan. They look fantastic. They don't do anything cute. They just play tough, physical football. They come out with a big win at home. They go on the road against Notre Dame. Guess what? Coach Riley decides, I need to get cute with the ball. You're trailing by 10. You just had a big first down with a pass to Makai Lemon. And then out of nowhere, in the rain, not good weather, you decide, well, let me put the ball in Makai Lemon's hands, have him roll out and, do one of those wide receiver passes. Anyways, turnover. USC fumbles the ball. Notre Dame recovers. That was a key play. That was the first question Coach Riley was asked after the game. Can you kind of walk us through the play call? And he said, it was a stupid call. It was a stupid call. Nothing more, nothing less. Didn't elaborate. Fell on a sword. I guess my question is this. As I'm sitting here after it's 1 o'clock here in South Bend, Indiana, still haven't left the stadium yet. Why would you even think about doing that? Why? Why are you constantly overthinking the situation? It just makes no sense every single time. We are in year 4 of the Lincoln Riley era. We are at more than at the halfway point of the season. And you're still doing the same things you were doing when you took over the job. You talk about wanting to be a physical, tough team, and yet you call soft plays. The play calling all year so far has been really good. I mean, we can cherry pick a play call here and there. But in this game, it was all over the place. USC had a chance to kick a field goal early in the game. They went for it on 4th down. They didn't convert. Points left on the field. Notre Dame was doing everything in their power, everything they can possibly think of to give this game away to USC. And yet USC refused to oblige. It's like every time Notre Dame made a mistake, USC said, hey, hold on, hold my beer. Watch what we can do. I can make a mistake too. So, you can probably sense my frustration right now. It's late. I'm irritated. I'm tired of losing to this team, which, by the way, this was probably the last game of the series unless they get the contract signed and extended. As of right now, there's nothing going on. They say they're talking around the clock. You know what would have been fantastic at halftime? The powers that be came together and said, we did it. We got the contract signed. The series is going to continue. That didn't happen. So in the end, you got Notre Dame taking home the jeweled shillelagh again. USC gets to take a long plane ride home with a loss to Notre Dame again. USC is now 5-2 on the season. Yes, the playoffs are still there because they're in the big conference, and as long as they win out, hey, there's an opportunity. USC had a chance to eliminate Notre Dame from the playoffs. All they had to do was play fundamental football, run the ball, Well, that's a whole other story. USC could not run the ball to save their life tonight. In fact, let me see if I can pull up some stats here just to tell you how bad it really was. Let's see here. And I'll go over more stats in the second segment. USC, they put up 396 total yards of offense. Not bad. Not bad at all. 328 through the air. For those of you who are math majors, that means USC ran the ball for 68 yards. You heard me correctly. 29 rushing attempts, 68 yards rushing. Average 2.3. King Miller, he had a solid game. 18 rushing attempts, 70 yards. Longest run was 15 yards, 3.9 average. Brian Jackson, again, he's dealing with the turf toe, 6 attempts, 22. You're getting nothing from the run game. And at this time, I got to consider Jaden Mayava more of a pocket quarterback, because if he is a dual threat, they sure as hell don't use him as a dual threat. They brought Husan Longstreet in the second half. Everyone in the house knew what was going to happen. Took the snap, ran to the outside. So I don't know. Again, I'm just so frustrated right now with this loss because it was there. I mean, again, Notre Dame did everything in their power to give the game to USC. USC actually took the lead with a touchdown in the second half. On the very next kickoff, 100-yard return for the Irish. They took the lead and they never relinquished it. I mean, there was a missed extra point. There was a missed field goal. Everything you can possibly think of to go your way on the road, and USC still found a way to lose the game. I don't understand it. I don't think I ever will, but it is what it is. Lincoln Riley just cannot figure out how to win tough games on the road. I mean, let me see if I can find the stat, but it isn't good. He's now 0-6 versus top 25 teams on the road. That's not going to get it done. Never has, never will. They need to get it figured out. All right, 2 more quick segments to go on this instant reaction show. Once again, Notre Dame 34, USC 24 in the rain. The weekend is almost over now, which means it's time to look back and crown this week's MVP on who delivered. I don't know who really delivered for USC. They had a really bad game. Nevertheless, this is who delivered, powered by DoorDash. Just like you can win every Saturday with DoorDash Streaks, saving money every time you order. These players delivered when it mattered most. I would say Jacoby Lane had the best game on offense, but he also had 2 crucial errors that didn't help. So just like Jacoby Lane typically delivers, DoorDash delivers on your Saturdays with DoorDash Streaks. You save every Saturday you order. Stack it up all season, and you can save up to $250, including $100 in DoorDash credits. Order next Saturday. Keep the streak alive. Fuel your game day only with DoorDash. Terms apply. This promo period will end November 18th. Supply House is also a sponsor of this episode. When the opening whistle blows on a new repair, get your crew moving forward with Supply House. Order today, and you'll see parts on your doorstep tomorrow. With over 280,000 plumbing, HVAC, and electrical items to choose from, the most trusted brands in the business, Supply House is your place to go. Their real-time inventory and honest lead times keep you from punting projects, while their industry-leading customer service always has your blind side covered. Need parts fast for projects? Supply House has next-day delivery. Talk about a game changer. Plus, their Trademaster perks like priority shipping and dedicated support make the whole process a whole lot smoother. Join the free Trademaster program today and score serious perks like priority shipping, lower prices, and a dedicated support line with supplyhouse.com. Go ahead and visit there, supplyhouse.com, to sign up for free and use promo code SHCollege5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. Real people, real service. So let me just go over some more stats with you here, because you look when you hear these stats, you're saying, how did USC lose? Well, you can't turn the ball over, for one, and you can't have stupid play calling for another. So USC had, what was it? What did I say? 396 total yards of offense. Let me see if I can pull that back up. I apologize. So USC, 396 total yards of offense. Notre Dame, 442. USC threw for 328 yards. They held the Irish to 136 yards through the air. Here's where USC got killed. They gave up 306 yards on the ground. Jeremiah Love had a career day, 24 rushing attempts, 228 yards. I think the first time he touched it, he went for 63 yards. He averaged 9.5 for the game. His running back partner in the backfield, Price, 13 attempts, 87 yards. He had a long run for 32. USC's tackling was, I don't know, how do I say it? Terrible, atrocious, nauseating. Pick a word. It was terrible. The linebacker room right now, I don't know what to say, but they are not getting the job done. They are not getting the job done. All the constant shifting and moving around, shooting the wrong gaps. Coach Riley said, well, we just did not execute well on defense. Well, no duh. Why not? What's going on? Why are we in game 7 and we're still seeing the same mistakes that we saw when Alex Grinch was the defensive coordinator? At a certain point, you got to wonder, are these players digesting what they're being told to do? I just saw too many mental errors out there. I mean, on the kickoff return that went for a touchdown, Tamir Robinson, he was there. He had both arms around the guy, and somehow the guy ran through the tackle. And then Matai Tagoai didn't help with the cleanup. If anything, Tamir, you've got to be able to hold on until the rest of the guys come over and can bring the guy down. So USC only had 68 rushing yards. I think I went over that. USC was great in the discipline area. 1 penalty, 5 yards. Notre Dame, 8 for 96, and they got away with murder. That number could have been much higher. Excuse me. Was USC's run defense good? No. Were they being held a lot? Yes. Was that why they weren't good on run defense? No. They were constantly out of position. That's why. It was really hard to watch. Here's another stat. Notre Dame, 3 for 11 on third down conversions. USC, 6 for 14. I mean, usually that's a good number. 1 penalty. You're holding the other team on third down. Notre Dame was going with an offensive line with a brand new center. They were struggling on the left side of their offensive line. USC got 0 pressure. None. One of the sacks, CJ Carr kind of ran into it. There's another example. I mentioned Notre Dame was doing everything in their power to give the game away. I remember last year watching Jaden Mayaba throw a pass backwards. In this game, I watched CJ Carr do one of the most dumb things I've ever seen in a football game, and USC couldn't capitalize on it. You get turnovers, and you're getting field goals? Can't do that. Can't do it. So hard to watch. So hard to watch because, Coach Riley tells us after the game, that's a really talented locker room we've got back there. That's a really good team. Well, you know what? Good teams win close games. And your teams, Coach Riley, are not winning close games. This isn't like a one-off. This is a trend. And you guys have to do better. It can't always be, well, we'll get back to work next week. We got the bye week. We'll get back to what we need to do, yada, yada, yada. These excuses, these explanations, they're starting to fall on deaf ears. And it's making it hard. It's making it really hard to constantly say, hey, you know what, Coach Riley, he might be the guy for this job. These types of efforts, it makes you rethink that. It makes you rethink it. Just too many mistakes. You cannot watch these happen week after week after week. I mean, you gave up a kick return for a touchdown. You had the fumble on a trick play. That's how you lose games. Coach Riley after the game talked about, I had the reverse pass and the 2 fourth down calls that weren't very good calls and didn't put our guys in a very good position. I've got to be way better for our guys. When is that going to happen, Coach? This is why, and again, I keep vacillating back and forth, but for 2 years, I've been saying, if Coach Riley wants to become the best head coach he could possibly be, hire a play caller. Because when the games get tight and there's a whole lot going on, he gets lost. It's like paralysis by analysis. USC keep doing weird stuff. Focus on the fundamentals, not on the gimmicks. I mean, Jeremiah Love, Notre Dame's running back, he could have gone for 300 yards on himself. If Marcus Freeman decided we're just going to run the ball all game, they would have been able to. The fact that they even threw the ball when they didn't have to was kind of ridiculous. Again, USC gave up 136 yards through the air. That's it. I mean, 16 for 26, 136 yards, 1 touchdown and an interception. Jaden Mayaba wasn't terrible, 22 for 42, but he only completed 52% of his passes. He had the 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. It's like this team just can't get out of their own way. And at a certain point, you just have to look at the coaching staff and say, hey, it's on you guys. Yeah, you can point out on film where they failed to execute. But again, this is year 4. We just got through game 7. Another loss to Notre Dame. And you're seeing the same issues that we saw 2 years ago, that we saw last year, 3 years ago. I don't know. What do you think? You tell me. All right. Got one more segment to go. I'm going to try and get through this instant reaction show without me blowing too big of a gasket. But right now, I'm pretty upset, as you can probably tell. So this episode is also brought to you by Rougiette. What do you get when you have a bald eagle standing on top of a silverback gorilla riding a T-Rex dinosaur? What you get is confidence, pure confidence. If you're looking for something beyond the usual pill, it's time to meet Rougiette Go Long. That's exactly where Rougiette's Go Long comes in. This isn't just another ED pill. It's a total game changer for confidence. Go Long combines 2 doctor-trusted medications in 1 dual-action formula, so you can get hard and go the distance. The process is simple. Connect with a board-certified doctor, 100% online, by the way. And if prescribed, your treatment ships directly and discreetly right to your front door. Ready to level up your confidence in the bedroom? Head to Rougiette.com and use promo code LOCKEDONCollege for 15% off your first order. That's Rougiette.com, promo code LOCKEDONCollege. Make sure to use our code so they know we sent you. FanDuel is also sponsoring this episode of Locked on USC. The NFL season is here, and FanDuel is making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers, if you can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. You're going to love using FanDuel because it fits however you like to bet. You like to do the player props, build a same-game parlay. Maybe you just want to jump into the action live as it's unfolding. Are you ready to play? Download the FanDuel app today, right now, going to visit FanDuel.com to get started. That's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. All right, so one more segment. What do I want to talk about in this instant reaction? Well, as I mentioned, the playoffs are still there. Now, will USC be ranked when this next poll comes out? Probably not. Probably not. They were number 20 going into this game. We'll see how the pollsters feel. Both of USC's losses are on the road. Nevertheless, it's a game they should have won. So we're now 7 games into the season. You're 5-2. You got 5 chances left. Got to win them all. 9-3 ain't going to cut it. What are the chances of USC winning their final 5 games? It's going to be tough. They got a bye week coming up. Then they'll travel to Nebraska. USC should be able to win that, right? Especially after what you saw Minnesota do to Nebraska. Speaking of, Nebraska had their quarterback was sacked 8 times this past weekend. Where was USC's defensive line? Where were the run blitzes? As I mentioned, you're starting a new center for Notre Dame, and you're not doing anything to confuse them. No stunts, no twists, nothing. Hardly any blitzes. USC hardly brought any pressure. Really hard to watch. Man, I'm so upset. So again, you got Nebraska after the bye week. Then you'll come home, and you've got Iowa and Northwestern, not necessarily in that order. Then you got Oregon, and then all of a sudden, guess what? UCLA comes to town for that final game. UCLA won at home against Maryland. Suddenly, they've got 3 wins. 2 wins less than USC. That's it. Just 2 wins less than USC. What everyone thought was going to be an easy win at the end of the year, all of a sudden now, doesn't look so easy anymore, does it? It's going to be one of those. I feel your pain, Trojan fans. I'm there with you. I really am. This is that line in the sand where I try not to cross over too much from being a fan and just coming at you as a journalist. But these types of games make it really difficult to put the emotion, the passion aside and just be a straight shooter. Yes, USC could have done a lot more on the field, but I'll just say it. They were let down by the coaching staff, starting with the head coach. You've got to put your team in a better position. When it's raining like that, you can't take chances. And when you're playing on the road especially, you can't be doing dumb things. You can't be getting, finger quotes, too cute with the ball. It just amazes me how you'll use that excuse. Well, you got to score right away. You can't get too cute. And here you are getting too cute when you're down by 10. And you just got a big first down. Notre Dame's cornerback, specifically Christian Gray, who I understand he got 2 interceptions in the game, but he was getting dragged all over the field by Jacoby Lane. And Tanuk Hines was getting more targets at one point than Jacoby. It made no sense. When you've got Jacoby Lane, who's 6'4", 6'5", he's got arms that go on forever, and you're going up against a cornerback that you've got 4 or 5 inches and major hops over, you need to be throwing those 50-50 jump balls to him and not to Tanuk Hines on crucial 3rd down calls. All right, I'm not going to spend any more time on this instant reaction because I'm going to lose it. Once again, USC had a chance to leave South Bend with a victory. They had the lead in the second half. They gave it away, and it just kind of snowballed from there. In the end, Lincoln Riley could not get out of his own way with his play calling. I will be back with another episode of Locked on USC tomorrow. That's what we do. Marvin Powell III, MVP3, will be here. He'll give me his perspective. He watched it on TV. Coming to you live from South Bend, Indiana. Everyone, you know what to do.